Hey guys, Dana here, Press Play Health and Fitness. I wanted to talk to you guys just a little bit about portion control and how I kind of found a solution instead of calorie counting or doing anything crazy, and why I think it's worked for me and it's worked for so many other people. And that is the 21 Day Fix way of eating. So it doesn't mean you need to do the 21 Day Fix program with it. Now actually you can buy the containers separately, or they also, a lot of programs now are utilizing them with their workouts because it's been so effective. So when was that? Like 2 years ago when I first reached out to my coach, I knew what to do, but I wasn't doing it. I had tried every little calorie tracker app. I tried kind of everything, and it wasn't necessarily that. It just got too complicated. I'm not someone that likes to track every little calorie. It drives me crazy. It works for some people, and this way you can still do it if you'd like, but I think that's why the same reason why, Weight Watchers like point system works so well, because you aren't counting like the littlest teeny tiny calories. It's kind of just a bigger way of portioning out your food, and not every calorie is created equal. So for example, some foods are more nutrient dense and some are poor, but let's say some are higher in nutrients but higher in calories, and then sometimes like a piece of white bread could be lower in calories but it's very nutrient poor. So that's what I mean when I say not all calories are created equally, and that's why I think this has really helped so many people. I majored in nutrition in college, so it's not something that I didn't get, but sometimes it's hard when, I had an eating disorder in high school. I've talked about that before. I was anorexic, and I really had to track every little thing I ate. I mean, a few weeks ago, I actually came across the sheets I used to use to track all of my calories. I'd have to like turn them in every week to the doctor. It was crazy. But I think that's probably why I got majorly pushed away from calorie counting. But then I kind of went to binge eating, and it just, whatever, it was a struggle. I knew what to do, wasn't doing it. And not to mention there are so many different theories on nutrition and just different things that come out. It's kind of like in my mind, I want to stay up and kind of keep up with the research and the science, but I'm not going to get too bogged down with every little thing. I mean, life's too busy and crazy enough. We don't need to be stressing all the time about our food, which I used to do. So that being said, the containers finally were a way for me to portion it out, say here's what, the calorie bracket that I fall in, which means how many containers that I get, and of each food portion each day. So there's vegetables, fruits, proteins, healthy fats, carbs, nuts and seeds, like nuts and seeds, and like nut butters, and they even have kind of a breakdown too of what you can use to replace. So let's say instead of wanting a carb today, I'm going to cut one of my carbs and I'm going to have a glass of wine for one of my like yellow containers. So there's a breakdown with that, which is nice as well. But what I think works and why it works long term is what I have found when I first did it. I stuck to it really just exactly how it was, and I tighten up here and there, but once you do it one time, it's like those color containers stick in your mind. So a lot of days I'm like, okay, I don't really know exactly how many I've had, but I know that I've already had like 2 fruits or whatever. That's for me. So let's say I've already had my fruit allotment for the day. So instead of having another fruit, I know I need to have another vegetable anyway, or knowing that on days where I'm working out harder, sometimes I need to add a container to, and kind of, I've played around a little bit to see, does it work better if I'm having an extra protein, or if I'm having extra fruit or extra vegetable or extra carb. So I kind of like play with that, and I don't ever stick to something super strict in regards to that. In the beginning I did, and it really helped, and I think that's why now it's just the visualization. Like I can remember the serving size and kind of what it looks like even on a plate of what that green vegetable container was, or what that protein container looks like, and what the serving size looks like, so that when I'm at a restaurant or when I'm out or when I am traveling, I'm like, you know what, I have not had nearly enough vegetables today, or the salad probably was, you know, only 1.5 green containers instead of, you know, normally when I would make my salads at home, it would be almost 3 containers just for my salad of vegetables. So those kind of things I pay attention to, and just the fact of, I think it's just so much easier to remember. One is the convenience factor of the portion containers, and there's a list of all the foods and all the types of foods you can eat, and which is great, because who wants to just be told exactly what to eat every single day? I think that's boring. Sometimes it works for people, and sometimes people do want an actual plan, and there are, the nutrition guide does kind of break it down for you, a sample plan. But what I like is, it is a lifestyle, so you create this lifestyle of making sure you're getting your adequate servings of every nutrient-dense food group that you need. And when you do that, you're not hungry, your cravings are down, and combine that with Shakeology and you just feel better. And at first, sometimes it's hard and it feels like there's a lot of planning at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's kind of like, you know how many like carrots or something counts for a serving of vegetables, or you know what size-ish apple or banana would count for a serving of your purple container. And you can get more strict or less strict on your carbs or whatever it is, or more strict in general with the containers as you have different goals. So sometimes I am really thinking of them really consciously, like right now I'm thinking of them pretty consciously because I am doing my 3-week push group and trying to help them. But I also am I'm still living, and I'm not saying that I'm not gonna have like pizza or anything like that. Like, I'm not going crazy, because for me this is about a lifestyle. And if someday I do have some crazy goal, like I'm sure someday when I get married, I'm gonna have a goal and want my body to look different than it does now, or you know, people after they have babies and all that kind of stuff. Everyone's at a different spot. But I think the best part is it is about listening to your body, and they talk to you about if you're more hungry or less hungry. I think a lot of times people go to the too low of calorie bracket and they're telling me that they get stuck at a certain weight and they're not losing anymore. And what I usually tell them is, you know, I kind of ask them what their portioning is and all that kind of stuff, just to make sure. But also sometimes you need to add stuff back in because you are increasing your activity level, and if your body goes into starvation mode, it just kind of just stays there, because I know you don't think starvation mode, no, you're not starving yourself, you don't feel like you're starving yourself necessarily, but your body thinks that you are, because you cut your calories too much and you're working out so to sustain you, after a while it's not going to be as easy to lose. And then sometimes too, I think you really do have to change it. So sometimes you are more strict with it, sometimes you're not, with any diet, with anything, just because it does. Anytime your body can get those changes here and there, it really does help. But so I would just say the convenience and the visualization and seeing those color-coded containers and knowing the sizes and then stuff like that, like it's just so much more, I don't know, maybe I am just a visual person, but seeing the colors and the sizes, and they just stick in your head so much better than, you know, like a black measuring cup. And it just works. The program works. There's a reason so many people have had success with it, and so many of, you know, Beachbody in general, almost every program, actually not almost, all programs now that are coming out do follow the 21-day fix plan of eating. And they all kind of have their own little twist on it, and maybe some different recipes and stuff, but it's awesome, and the stuff's good, and you can still eat real things on it, and you can still go out to dinner, and it's kind of, that's the awesome part, is you don't have to carry those containers around with you and you go out to dinner and count down every calorie. You can say, okay, so I had, you know, this serving size of let's say steak is bigger than what a normal protein is, so I'm gonna count that as 2. In my own mind, like some people like to track, there are apps for that as well. But I just think it's easy, it's simplified, it's visual, and I think it's one of the easiest ways to keep your nutrition on track and create a healthy lifestyle moving forward, even when you aren't following it as strictly. So I would love to hear back from you guys who have tried it. If you want to try the containers, let me know. I can tell you how to get those. And I can also give you some tips if you have any questions on what qualifies to go in there, what you can replace with certain foods. And I'm sorry, my cat is like being really, really annoying. Shocking. But actually what I think I'm gonna do for the Health Bet Challenge group I have coming up as well is one of the prizes for the people that are in my Health Bet are gonna get a set of unopened, brand new 21-day fix containers. And I'm doing that again for my free 3-week push group. The top 3 people are getting a surprise gift and for their hard work, and one of them are gonna get the 21-day fix containers just because I think they work really well, and there's a reason that this program has been so successful and why people have had sustained long-lasting weight loss, whether they have done the actual 21-day program workouts complete or whether they have just kind of done the portion control containers with another program. And it's because they work, and it's not about just doing something for 21 days or anything like that. It's more of learn how to do it and do it right and get through it, and then that kind of the results you see keep motivating you to keep going and want to eat healthy, and you realize how much better you feel. So I would love to hear from you, and go ahead and you can message me on Facebook, Dana Presnell, or you can comment here on this video on YouTube, or you're more than welcome to email me at pressplayfitness@gmail.com. PRESSPLAY, P-L-A-Y, fitness@gmail.com. Thanks guys, have a great night.